Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back and into filming videos. I've been gone for a while, so I thought I'd start out with a nice easy video. And basically what we're going to be doing today is applying false lashes. Dun dun dun. The terror of applying false lashes. So if you want to see how easy it is and how I apply lashes, then please keep watching. I know so many people struggle with applying false lashes. It is not easy sometimes. They do really like to test your patience. So you have to have, before you sit down, a few main things to get you started. So tweezers are essential. Also I need a little pair of scissors so that you can cut the lashes down to the length that you need. I know some people don't know that you actually need to trim your lashes so they don't hang over, because then that will have them not sitting properly and feel very uncomfortable. We also need some mascara and your eyelash curler. And of course, we need eyelash glue and any eyelashes of your choice. We also need a mirror. So whether that be a mirror that you're sitting in front of, like in your bathroom, or it be a mirror like this bad boy. So basically what you need is a mirror that you can look down at and be able to get really nice and close. So you can use something like that one, or you can just use like a handheld mirror. That will work as well. All right, so first things first, we're going to curl our lashes, and I'm gonna just be using like my little handheld mirror for this because I find it easier because I can get right up nice and close. So again, whatever works for you guys. So first thing I'm going to do is just apply a very light coat of mascara and curl your lashes first. All right, so now that we have our mascara on, the next thing is choosing your lashes. So for me, I personally go with lashes that have a bigger lash band. For me, I find it easier to work with. So these ones here are Lilly Lashes in the style Creme. So I'll show you what those look like. So these ones have a thinner lash band than the Lilly Lashes. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'll pull off one of the Ardells here. But with these ones, if you can see, the band on them is really small and thin. Whereas the ones with the Lilly Lashes, they have a little bit of a thicker band that you can see there. So for me, these seem to be easier to apply. Because I find that the band just kind of isn't as floppy as the ones with the thin bands. The thin bands kind of tend to like move around a lot. These ones, because the band is thicker, they kind of like hold their shape better. So I like to use those ones. When you first open your pack, I have already actually cut these because I've worn both of these pairs before. So when you first take them out of the packaging, what you want to do, first of all, you need to look at them. You need to take them out of the package, basically facing away from you, like this. So this one is for your right eye and this one's for your left eye, but you can also tell that usually on the inner corners the lashes are a little bit they're not as long, so that they don't hit the inner corner of your eye and become uncomfortable. So when you first take them out, what you first want to do is take off the lash, take your mirror, and what you're just gonna do is kind of just set the lash on your eye. So you can just, it doesn't have to be perfect. Because basically what we're doing right now is measuring to make sure we don't need to cut anything off of the lashes. So you're basically just gonna set it on and make sure there's not like a ton hanging off the end of the lash. You never wanna take off anything on the inner corner because they are designed a specific way so that the inner corner is, like I said, shorter. So if you start cutting that, you're starting to cut off the shortness and becomes long, wispy lashes. So you want to leave alone the inner corner, and you just want to take off of the outer edge. And usually it's not going to be too much that you have to take off, maybe just like the very end. Like usually when I cut mine, I take off like just that very end part. That's about all I take off. So it's not much. It's just enough so that it doesn't bother the inner corner and keep like hitting your eyes, and it doesn't stab into the inner corner. So we have our mascara on. We've now cut our lashes to the desired length. So basically you want them to not come all the way to the inner corner, but just where your lashes end. So mine, I usually set, there you can kind of see, that's about as far in as I go for my lashes. So now that you've cut it down to the proper length, now what we're gonna do is take our lash glue. And again, lash glue is really your preference. They have a ton of them out there. They have Duo, that's one of the really good ones. And most of the like higher end lash brands do have their own lash glue. So the one I have is the one from Lilly Lashes, and it's actually a brush on adhesive. So there is actually a little brush on it, which I find these ones are the best, I think, in my opinion. It's just easier, you don't have a mess of glue everywhere. So Duo also does have the brush on adhesives, which is, that one's really good as well if you don't want to, you know, have to just go online and purchase this. These you can find in the drugstores. You can find the Duo ones in the drugstore. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off our lash, and really what you're gonna be doing is just putting on a thin layer of glue. Let's see if I can show you. And you just want to only be putting it on the lash band. So all the way from inner corner to outer corner, just fully cover the band in glue. Now, the most important thing that you have to do is as soon as you put the glue on, you don't put it on your eye. This is the biggest mistake that I find people make, is that as soon as the glue's on, you put it on. The problem with that is that the glue is like really slippery. So basically you have a hard time adhering the lash to the skin because the glue isn't tacky and it has nowhere to stick. It kind of just slips around and gets really messy and gets in your eyes, and that's never fun. So really what you want to do is let it get nice and tacky. With this glue, it'll turn like a darker bluish color once it starts to dry. So usually I say about 20-ish seconds to let it dry, and then you can start to apply. So I'm going to just zoom you guys in so you can really see how this goes on the eye. Okay, we are nice and close. Okay, so we're still letting the glue dry here. It's almost ready. If these are your own lashes, it's fine to blow on them. If you're working with a client, please do not blow on the lashes. That is not a sanitary process. So if you're working with anybody, then just, you can kind of flail them around, if you will, and just help the glue kind of dry. All right, so we've started to have some glue drying. It's starting to turn like a purpley blue color here, which means it's starting to dry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to put them in the very middle of the lash, just like this. Like this. We're going to hold them like this. We're going to take our mirror and get nice and close and looking down at your mirror. And you're really just going to place the lash as close to the lash line as possible. Just like that. And so make sure, the first thing you want to make sure is to secure the middle of the lash. So kind of just push it into the middle of your eye. And once it's secure, then you can start moving the lash around with the tweezers and placing it where it needs to be. So placing the inner corner like that. So once that's done, then I like to go in with my fingers and kind of just hold the lash and kind of just push it into the eye to make sure everything is secure. So just holding the lash and literally just like pushing it onto the eye. And then if you're comfortable, you definitely don't have to do this, but what I like to do is once it's secured and dried, so this is how your lash will look. Once it's secured, it will be perfectly in line with how your lashes are currently growing. So your natural ones, it'll match up with those lashes, and it will be as close to your natural lash line as you can possibly get. So that's, you don't want to see really a disconnect in your lashes. So then what I like to do, again, not necessary and only if you're comfortable, you don't have to do it with tweezers, you can just do it with your fingers. I go in and grab underneath the lash and the top. So basically you're grabbing your natural lash and the fake lash and kind of just pinching them together so it looks all like one. We can do it without the tweezers since that's a little scary. You might stab yourself. I have done that and it hurts like hell. So really we're just making sure that everything looks secured and that your natural lash so that your natural lashes are meshing with the falsies. This is how your lash will look once it's all completed and adhered. Okay, so once you've applied the lash and it's all adhered, if you're blinking a few times, and you shouldn't actually feel, it'll obviously feel weird because there's an eyelash on if you haven't really worn lashes, but basically it shouldn't feel like anything's poking you, or it shouldn't feel uncomfortable like in the inner corner. I find if you go too far in, it can kind of like poke on the very inner corner of your eye. So if that's the case, take the lash off and reapply it, because it should be comfortable to wear. There shouldn't be any poking or anything like that. Moving on to the next eye, apply the glue. So again, just a nice thin layer. We don't need like gobs and goops of glue because that just makes things messy for us in the end. So for me, I like to make sure that there's the most concentrated on the outer corner and the inner corner, just because that's the places it can come off the easiest. Okay, so we're just letting the glue dry again. So again, grabbing the lash with the tweezers and using your mirror. I don't know if you guys will be able to see me do this one. I'll try and do it this way. So for me, because I'm right-handed, the left side is a little bit more difficult sometimes. So what I'll do with the left side is I'll go over top and kind of just like, actually I'll sometimes use my left hand just to place the lash, and then we'll go in again. So again, we're just placing the lash. And again, like if you guys aren't comfortable with using tweezers, you can totally use your hand. Just grip the lash between your thumb and forefinger and just place it on. So I'll do that with you guys here. And then I'll still go in after with my tweezers to just make sure everything is sitting properly and adhered in the right places. And really, the most important thing with lashes is to just have patience. I know it can be super frustrating. I have legitimately thrown lashes at the mirror and given up. Come back like 5-10 minutes later and they apply like a dream. So you have to be patient and try not to get frustrated. I know it's hard, but if you can stay calm, you won't have any issues. All right, and there we have our second lash on this side. So again, stay calm, just keep practicing. Literally, if you want, once a week, just throw some lashes on and practice. It will get easier, I promise. Obviously, it took a while for me to do this because I'm talking through the whole thing. Usually, I'm very concentrated and just staring in the mirror. But again, we're doing this for a video, so it takes a little bit longer. I'll let you guys have one more look. So when you're looking down, basically, if you choose to, with your look, you can go in then and apply some liner over top just to cover the lash band. I don't usually, even if I'm doing like a full face of makeup with eyeshadow and everything, I kind of just leave it because if you get it on properly, you won't really be able to tell that you're wearing lashes, especially if you get it as close to the lash line as possible, because looking straight ahead, it doesn't look like I'm wearing lashes. So it's up to you. If you want to put on a thin layer of eyeliner, you totally can. Just to complete your look and hide that lash band, you can definitely do that. It won't take anything off. Even if you're using a liquid, it works just fine. So yeah, that was that tutorial for you guys. If you guys have any questions, just let me know down below in the comment section and I'll answer any questions you guys have about lashes, glues, anything like that. They do make latex free glues, so in case you're allergic. So I can even give you guys some good brands to use down below. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. That is it for this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want to just say hey or any questions, like I said, down below. Yeah, that's it. So have a great day wherever you guys are. And until the next video, always remember to be yourself. Bye guys.